So March 10th, 2023 at Ditterod, we've got Brent still taking his 8-hour layover there at the Eagle Island checkpoint. It looks like got in there about 9:30. Jesse's through at about 2 a.m. and then Nick Petit a couple hours ish later. I believe at like about 4 a.m. going through there, 4:28 versus 2:05 a.m. in terms of how they went through. They've already taken their 8. They're going to have to rest out there. And or push the full 60 miles through Caltech, where they're going to rest out there and probably mush through the Caltech checkpoint to the tripod shelter cabin, which is on that portage from Caltech to Unalakleet, about 20 miles up the trail. And there's another cabin about, I don't know if it's halfway or not, old woman cabin. So those are the two sort of shelter type cabins. Mushers typically will, if they do choose to break up the run from the checkpoint of Caltech, which is the last checkpoint on the Yukon River, on the way to, on that big portage up over the mountains past, on the way to Unalakleet. And then Unalakleet, they head up the Bering Sea coast over the Blueberry Hills to Shaktoolik, and then across the sea ice to Koyuk, and then Elam, and then on their way to White Mountain, where their final mandatory rest is, that 8-hour rest at White Mountain. But Jesse's lead isn't much over Nick, and neither of them have much of a lead over Brent. Brent's still in the thick of things for sure, and the chase pack is all right there. If they're moving a little faster, or if they just want to, pull a gutsy, brave move at any point, pretty much any musher. And there's plenty of different type of moves in terms of strategy here that they could potentially attempt to execute. In terms of there's several different mushers that could potentially do different things that are somewhat unpredictable. They try to catch up the three that look like they're in first right now, which is again, we're talking about Jesse, Nick Petit, Jesse Holmes, Life Below Zero, Nick Petit, and Brent Sass. So it'll be certainly interesting to see, how they all look in Unalakleet, and how people run this next section of the race from Caltech to Unalakleet. I think that there's going to be some different type of strategies. Some will rust out there, some will go through Caltech, some are going to stop at Caltech and then run that run straight through